Warning, this video contains truth bombs about genetics and human behavior. Viewer discretion and a functioning prefrontal cortex is advised. Genes. Those tiny molecular tyrants that supposedly dictate everything. Whether you'll be a genius, a world-class athlete, or the kind of person who still can't fold a fitted sheet properly. For decades, scientists believed that cracking the genetic code would be like unlocking the secret cheat sheet to human existence. Spoiler alert, it wasn't that simple. Remember when the Human Genome Project finished sequencing all our DNA? There were wild predictions, custom-designed babies, miracle cures, and finally an explanation for why some people insist pineapple belongs on pizza. But turns out, genetics is a bit like IKEA furniture instructions. Way more complicated than expected, and sometimes missing crucial pieces. So, if genes don't tell the whole story, what does? Meet gene-environment interactions, the reason why identical twins raised apart don't always end up with the same taste in music or terrible dad jokes. And then, of course, there's the famous Doogie Mouse experiment. Scientists tweaked a single gene and suddenly mice became memory champions. The media immediately started screaming about the IQ gene. What they failed to mention, that intelligence is about way more than just a single strand of DNA. Otherwise, we'd all be downloading genius genes like software updates. Even serious conditions like depression or schizophrenia don't come from one single gene. It's like baking. You need a mix of ingredients, the right oven temperature, and if you're like me, an emergency fire extinguisher on standby. Genes don't work like a rigid instruction manual. They're improvisational, adapting based on signals from their environment. It's a bit like jazz, unpredictable, constantly adapting, and occasionally making your parents question their life choices. Take epigenetics, for example. Your genes might code for a certain trait, but depending on factors like stress, diet, or even childhood hugs, they might turn on or off. This means that blaming bad genes for your behavior is about as scientifically accurate as saying Mercury being in retrograde ruined your job interview. So, what's the takeaway? You are not a genetic puppet. Your genes set the stage, but everything from your diet to whether your parents made you eat kale as a child helps shape the final act. And next time someone smugly says, "It's in my genes," feel free to hit them with some real science. I am your guide, Antonio Clem. May the pseudo-powers be always with you.